राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जनवल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जनवल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जनवल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन। यमुना तीरावनचारी यमुना तीरावनचारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जनवल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन यमुना तीरावनचारी तीरावन। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जनवल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। गोपी जनवल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जनवल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। गोपी जनवल्लभ। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे।
कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे। हरे राम हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे। हरे राम हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम राम। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Jaya Radha Madan Mohan, Radha Madan Mohan, Radha Madan Mohan Radhe. Madan Mohan, Radha Madan Mohan, Radha Madan Mohan Radhe. Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Gauranitai, Jaya Nimai Nitai, Jaya Gauranitai, 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 Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gaura Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Hari Bol, Gaura Hari Bol. Shri Hari Nama Sankirtan ki, Hare Krishna Mahamantra ki, Shri Shri Radha Madan Mohan ki jai, Shri Shri Gaura Nitai ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol, Hare Krishna. So, again welcome you all. We will offer prayers, although we don't have all the prayers here. We'll together do prayers today and then start the discussion. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamaiham Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guruho Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam tam sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakha Vitamsha Namaha Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin iti namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gauratvishe Namaha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha kalpa tarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So today we are going to see one very interesting pastime from Srimad Bhagavatam, uh, which comes in the sixth canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. And this story we can title as the little boy who spoke lofty philosophy. Okay, that is the title. So sometimes when you have little children, when they speak, now here we every time we have the shloka, right? And when our kids, they speak the shlokas, they tell the meaning, they also speak some nice philosophy. It is very attractive. Everyone becomes very attentive. When a small child is speaking something very valuable, especially philosophy, then everyone is very attentive. So here in this story, we are also going to hear about one such small child who spoke very amazing understanding. So that is what is the title. Obviously, as we go through the story ahead, we will understand more. So and then we have some questions in between. You all can participate. You can answer the questions also. Obviously, I will ask the little kids, those who want they can read. How many of you, the kids, can read English properly? Yes, all of you come here ahead. Can you all come here? We will ask all of you to read. Sit here. Those who can read, yeah, and they are intelligent people. So all of you, so little space we can make. Yes, all sit here. And do we have another mic? Where is that? Okay. So now one by one you should take turn to read one slide each. And then after a slide I may speak, so you stop, right? And then go to the next one. Like that we will read the story. All of you will read and then also we will discuss. Okay? All of you are ready? Wow, you also read? Yes. Yeah. Okay, sit. You all of you come. Yes. Okay, so let's begin with this wonderful story, what we have. Yes, start reading. Who would like to start?
Once the world was ruled by a powerful king named Chitraketu. King Chitraketu had many beautiful wives, but he did not receive a child from any of them, as they were all barren. Due to this, the king was morose.
Yes, what is the name of king? Chitraketu. And he had many wives. So that time, in those age, it was allowed. The kings would marry many women. So they had many wives, but no child. That was the problem. And he was very morose because the king's duty, one of the duty of the Kshatriya Vedic king was to also ensure that there is a progeny, next king who is trained and who can take over from him. So as a duty, he was a very pious king. He felt that it's my duty to give a prince who can take care. So he was morose that he does not have a child. Yeah, read ahead.
Once, when the great sage Angira arrived at his palace, he offered him nice reception with respectful obeisances, eatables, sitting place, and words of praise. But Chitraketu was in no mood to hear any good instruction from the sage, as his mind was continuously absorbed in the lamentation of not having a son.
So great sage Angira came, and it is said when you meet a great saintly person, one should learn, one should hear from him, one should learn something. But because Chitraketu's mind was disturbed, right, he could not take that association of Angira seriously. Does it happen sometime if you are in classroom? No? And you are distracted? You are never distracted? Sometimes, yeah. So we are hearing, does it happen that we sat and heard, or we are reading something and even after some time you feel I didn't get anything because we were thinking of something else. The mind is distracted. Similarly here Chitraketu was also distracted. Although Angira was actually Angira Muni is the son of Brahma, very greatly learned scholar, very great rishi. But But because Chitraketu was disturbed, he could not take the association of Angira very seriously. So now we have some questions. Before, don't read, wait. This is question. Choose the correct answers. So this, all the audience, they have to answer, not only kids. When we meet a saint, what are we supposed to do? Please raise your hand, be a good class, not just say A, B, C, D. What should we do? I want elder kids to answer. Yes, the simple question. Yes, she. Receive him will with sitting place, obeisances, word and praise. Correct. And hear instructions and apply in our life. Rebol. Correct. So this is hospitality to a saintly person. It is said Atithi Devo Bhava. You have heard. So nowadays what has happened? पहले ऐसा रहता था घर के सामने. If you go to old homes in villages, Atithi Devo Bhava. Nowadays what is there? Beware of dogs. That means don't come. You are not welcome. Right? Earlier, people, especially the saintly people, they would be traveling home to home, door to door, and they were welcome. They can easily walk into some homes, sit, they welcome and speak some words of wisdom. And nowadays, trespasser will be punished or persecuted. And who will go to such people? The richer, the more sophisticated, the societies and the homes are, the tougher is for the saintly people to penetrate those. Right? And actually Bhagavatam says this is a misfortune of people. When you can't get the association of saintly people, that home is like a fort. Which is, and I'm sorry to say that, it is Bhagavatam 10th canto. It is actually said, Kara Gruham Gruham. Kara Gruham Gruham. What is Kara Griha? And Griha? Home. The home has become jail. For the soul, that home has become jail because he can't get association of saintly people, which will actually elevate his consciousness and take him towards Krishna. So, anyways, now this is for the general people. You are special. You are coming to take association. You are coming to take satsanga. You are also inviting devotees to your home. That is what should be done. That's the grihastha dharma. The home is meant to be actually a place where we invite sadhus and saintly people and do Krishna Katha, Krishna Kirtan. That's the best thing to do. Okay. Second question. If one becomes the king of the world or a multimillionaire, what he should do? Read the answers, the options and yes, Gautami. D? B. Okay, he still suffers from missing something in his life. Thus, wealth is not the cause of happiness, correct? Even if you have everything, still there is some pinprick. The D, as you said, he may then be able to accept good instruction by saying, not necessary. Here, Chitraketu is not accepting, although he is the emperor. He still has his mind disturbed because there is something missing in his life. So, this is an illusion created by Maya, the illusory potence, thinking that, oh, if only I have everything, if I only have this. A person who has 1 BHK thinking, if only I get 2 BHK, I am going to be happy. A 2 BHK person is thinking, if only I have 3 BHK home. Those who have 3 BHK, if only I get a villa in Tellapur. That's it. After that, life is going to be all good. Now, there are some who have villas. Ask them. They are thinking, no, if only. Their if onlys are not over. It will keep on adding. No material commodity or situation can actually satisfy the jiva completely. It is like if you give a fish out of water. You take out a fish out of water and give all comforts to the fish. Is that fish going to be happy? No. The fish is happy. First, you have to put it back in the water. Similarly, for us, the living souls, the jivas, part and parcel of Krishna, Jivera Swarup hoy Krishnera Nityadas. For us, the first and foremost thing is connection with Krishna, bhakti. If that is missing, then nothing of this world actually satisfied. Do you think Mukesh Ambani does not have any desire? He is completely satisfied. Koi ichha nahi. If you think like that, you somehow go and meet him, get your illusion. Yeah, otherwise, why are they working so hard? Working harder than all of us. There's so much to do more. Right? So, no material thing can satisfy. That's the reality. Because we are spirit soul, only spiritual, spiritual happiness can fully satisfy us, not material happiness. So, even when the king has everything of this world, he still is dissatisfied. Okay. We can't discuss too much. We have a lot of story to cover. Yes, now read ahead.
When the sage inquired about his sadness, the king said that all his wealth and kingdom were like a beautiful garland, and sandalwood pulp for a hungry man, as they cannot satisfy his hunger. Seeing his situation, Sage Angira decided to bless the king with a son. Although according to king's fate, he was not supposed to have a son.
Haribo! See how little children, when they speak philosophy, is so nice. So yes, so nicely you read. Thank you. Haribo. So yeah, so here Angira, because he is a great powerful sage, seeing the situation of king. Actually, king is supposed to set example for all the janta. He should be actually a good devotee. But king is disturbed. So Angira thought, okay, although it is not in his daiva, in his fate, by my power I will still bless him to have a son. That's what. And then he gave him that blessing. Now let's see what happens. Okay. Read ahead, someone. Yeah.
Upon the advice of Angira Muni, King Chitraketu arranged for a special sacrifice to the demigods and then offered the remnants of the sacrificial food to one of his queens named Krutadyuti. At the end of the sacrifice, Angira Muni told him, "O great king, you will now have a son who will be the cause of both jubilation and lamentation." Since king was not destined to have a son, now the son he will have was meant to give him that much suffering that what he will get by not having a son.
Haribo, nice. Okay, thank you. So the king was adamant to have a son, although it was not in his destiny. Angira tried to tell him, but he was not ready to listen any good advice. He was only anxious. So Angira said, okay, I will give you a son, do this yajna, but when it is not there in our karma, if we endeavor extremely hard, no, I want it, and even if we get it, the ultimate, what you call it, the ultimate quota of happiness remains the same. Right? So now see what the last line says. Now the king will have son, but he will also give him much suffering. What he will get by not having a son. Not having a son also, king was suffering and he was sad. That sadness cannot be compensated. Even by having a son, now there will be some other way the sadness, that dukkha will come. Right? So as you say, I don't know if you're engineer here, some of you, the algebraic sum, you remember, the sum total is constant. Now if the son is not there, and say, no, I want to have, and then you do some yagya, tapa, go to this god, go to that god, one may get, because the desire is too strong. But then something else will happen and the same amount of misery comes. That is called destiny. So the amount of happiness and distress that we are supposed to enjoy and suffer in this life is already fixed. Now let's see what happens with the king. Read.
Chitraketu was overjoyed to know that he would finally get a son. But he wondered about the sage's last words. He thought Angira must have meant that I will be greatly happy when my son is born. But what did he mean by the child being the cause of lamentation? Of course, being my only son, he will automatically become the heir to my throne. Therefore, he might become proud and disobedient. That might be a cause for lamentation. But a disobedient son is better than no son at all.
So Chitraketu thought, okay, what will happen? He'll not listen to me. Thoda naughty rahega, disobedient. Chale, better than not having a son. This is good. At least I will have son. He'll be the heir to my kingdom. Okay. This is what was his thought. Now let's see. Go ahead.
In due course of time, Kritadyuti begot a son. King Chitraketu could not contain his joy. He raised his infant son carefully, and his affection for Queen Kritadyuti increased daily. The other wives who felt neglected burned with anger and envy. As their envy increased, they lost their intelligence, and their hearts became hard like a stone. They met secretly and decided that the only way to regain the love of their husband was to poison the child.
Okay, so now here comes the twist in the story. Right? So what happened? You understood? One queen got the son now. But then there are many queens. And naturally, because the king was so much worried about the son and one queen as well, so he was spending more time with that queen. Other queens, they became envious, they became insecure. And the nature of envy you see here, what is said? Hare Krishna. It burns the heart, and also it makes the heart very hard like a stone. Right? Envy, when somebody has envy towards another person, then they don't think committing very, very ghastly activities also sometimes, very, what can I say, very harmful things out of envy. When you see someone else is flourishing, you are a competitor. When you see someone competitor or someone else is doing something nice and there is envy in the heart, people want to destroy. And the intelligence is lost at times. The discrimination, whether what we are doing is right or wrong, that also is completely lost. The only thing is the jealousy or envy want people, actually that burns the heart of people. They want to destroy the other person somehow or other. That's the nature of envy. And we see here, now, do the queens have problem with the child? Do they have any problem with the child? Is the child troubling them? No, he is a small child, is no problem. Do the queens have problem with the queen? Kritadyuti? In one sense, not. Yeah, they just have the envy in their heart. And in one sense, they have problem with the wife, that they feel, okay, she is getting more attention, right? She is flourishing more than me. But whom did they harm? The envy came on the child. Many times in this world also we will see, actually, people become envious when someone else is getting more praise, more followers, more courage, all these material things, more success. And then they say, okay, now how do we, how do we destroy? And then in that, they will not mind sacrificing innocent lives. Right? The boy was not at all at fault. He's an innocent child. But he became the target of the envy of these other wives. They were also innocent. They are not bad. They are not criminals. They are not terrorists. But the envy made their heart very stone-like. Even they could not understand. Can you give some example of envy from scriptures when the heart became very strong? KK, right? I was talking yesterday to some of you there. KK, it is said, you read Rama, and KK loved Lord Ram more than Bharat. Yeah, more than Kaushalya also. When Sita came for the first time after marriage, she gave her own palace. Now also if you go to Ayodhya, there is this Janak, no, what is it? Kanak Bhavan, I think, which is the palace of Kaikeyi. She gave as gift to Sita out of love. Think about how much she loved. But because, what did Manthara do? Manthara said, Kaikeyi, she actually brought envy out of heart of Kaikeyi. When she said Ram is becoming, king, Kaikeyi said, amazing, there can't be nothing, no good news than this. This is the best news I have heard. Kaikeyi, don't you understand? Ram will become king means Kaushalya will become Rajmata and you will become the maid servant of Kaushalya. That hit her hard. No. She had envy towards Kaushalya, not towards Ram. And then what she did is the history. He's such a nice, gentle-hearted, soft-hearted Kaikeyi, became poisoned by the envy which is inflated by Manthara. Bad association. Similarly, we see in this world many such examples are there in the scriptures where someone became envious or jealous, and then out of that jealousy they became blind. What they are doing, how much trouble, how much pain they are causing to others, people cannot think about it. They become blind out of their own envy, and they do some damage, which is, even to innocent lives. That's the nature of envy. That's what is happening here. Let's answer this question. Why did Chitraketu desire a son despite sage warning him that son will give him trouble? Hey, read completely first. Yes, raise your hand. Yes. Okay, there are more answers. Multiple answers can be correct. Yes. C also. Main is C actually. Blind attachment. Blind attachment. He could not think, of the possibilities. He had a blind attachment to have a son. Okay. What happened when Chitraketu could not contain his joy? Yeah, read. Yes? How many of you got answers? A, B, and D. According to me, it's A, B, and D. Okay? See, B also is correct. He was unaware that co-wives are feeling their hearts and thus neglected them. He didn't know that they are becoming. It just was a natural, or he just. He was not aware, that's all, right? And then their envy got inflated in their heart. Okay, let's read ahead. Any question till here? Do you want to make any comment or question, or should we go ahead? It's a long story. We are not even covered half. A lot of wonderful things going to happen now. Okay, no questions. Read ahead. Let's read ahead. Yes, who's next?
One afternoon, as Queen
Krutadyuti
Chitraketu walked in the cour- courtyard of the palace. She thought of her son sleeping peacefully in his room because she loved the child dearly and could hardly bear to be without him for a moment. She ordered the nurse to awa-
Awaken him,
him from his nap and ba-
bring him to the garden.
bringing to the garden. But when the
Okay, later.
when the
Later. Maid servant.
approached the child, she saw that his eyes were turned upwards and there was no signs of life.
Horrified,
She held a,
swab
swab
of cotton
of cotton be-
beneath the boy's nostril.
the boy's nostrils, but the cotton did not move. In great agitation, she struck her breast with both hands and
Wept
loudly.
Okay. Haribol. Yeah. So when this maid servant went and saw this child is dead. Who poisoned them? Poisoned the child? The other queens. They poisoned the child. And now the child is dead. Now let us see what happens. Actually, because the time is less, we want the reading to happen quickly. So those of you seniors, I mean they're little elders, you can read properly, not seniors, elders. Okay, you can read. And then next time we'll have for children also, more younger children. Okay, you can read very properly. Yes? No. So you give to Didi here, to her. She will read. Yeah. Yeah, read.
Some time passed, and the anxious queen approached the child's bedroom. Hearing the nurse wailing, she entered the room and saw that her son had passed away from this world. In this great lamentation, her hair and dress in disarray, the queen fell to the ground unconscious. When the king heard of his son's death, he became nearly blind with grief. His lamentation grew like conflagration as he ran to see the dead child. He repeatedly stumbled and fell.
Oh, thank you. Keep with you. So some of you can read, those are elder. Huh? So now the queen got to know, you see the picture here, she was almost dead hearing this news, and definitely the king is also going to be completely aghast, right, hearing this news. Okay. Before that, I think we have a question. What should we learn from the sad situation of King Kituditi and King Chitraketu? A and C. What is the lesson? C is definitely correct. Jubilation and lamentation are laws of material world. One should remain undisturbed. This world is world of duality. Okay, and then D is also correct. Lamentation follows material jubilation. Better take to Krishna consciousness and go back to God. See, kabhi khushi, kabhi gam. This is how the world is. There is no permanent happiness. There is no permanent distress also. But people get trapped into this. We get completely trapped into we want to mitigate the misery and get happiness. And in that, we completely forget actually the goal of life is not to be happy or not to, not to be sad. Actually, these are just waves of life which will come and go. The goal of life is to return back to Godhead, to develop love for God and go back to Him in spiritual world. In this ups and downs of life, actually we get caught up. I don't know if I ever told you, that's a long thing, but I'll tell you how interesting it is. There was one scientist in Russia called Paulo. The scientist did a very nice experiment on a rat. You know what he did? He put a cage and, cage, pinjara, and put 2 electrodes and put one rat inside. This electrode and pinjara, and then locked it. The rat was jumping, it wanted to go out, he was feeling tired and stuck, right? So rat was very agitated. Now, how the whole system was, he could actually remove those electrodes, put something and put it back again. Electrode means 2, rods kind of on the 2 sides. But now what he did, he put 2 nice cakes on these 2 rods and put it inside one day. The rat was little doubtful. Very nice cakes, very nice smell and all, what the rat liked. The rat was actually very cautious, but then gradually it went and started tasting the cake, and it liked it. Very nice cakes. So the rat was happy. He ate the cake one side, went to the other side, ate the cake. He was very happy. Although he was jumping around and wanted to come out, still happy. This went on for 7 days. Every day he would put cake in both the sides, and the rat would eat, and inside he was happy. After 7 days, this person put cakes, but in one of the rods he put some little current, small current. It will give a jhatka to rat, but it will not die. So as always, every day rat was very happy. Cake has come, started eating on this side. As soon as his mouth touched that rod, he got shock. Then he became, suddenly, what is this? He became surprised. Then he thought, maybe I might not have slept, maybe kuch to hua hai. Then he started eating from the other side. Ate. Again, when he touched that rod, again he got shock. Then he became frightened. He went back, he was looking. Then he got frightened. Then he thought, arey kuch to gadbad hai. Third time it happened. Then he stopped eating that cake, that side. Then he went to the other side. Very carefully, fearfully, he started eating. As soon as he reached rod, he was fearful. But he tried. But there was no current there. So he didn't get jhatka. Then he thought, okay, idhar theek hai. Then he ate that entire cake. He was happy. But the other side he did not eat. He continued this pattern for 7 days. His side current, this side no current. Every day, 2-3 days he tried. Rat understood, this side current is there. Better not eat this side. That side is okay. After 7 days, the scientist changed the side. This side current, this side no current. The rat knew the otherwise, so he went this side, started eating. As soon as he touched the rod, he got shocked. Then he felt, my God, he said, maybe I confused the direction. No, but this is the right side. Then again he tried, he was totally aghast. Then he was confused. He was going here, there, and all the scientists were looking at it. He's totally confused what to do. And again he went on this side, very gradually started eating. When he touched the rod, nothing happened. Then he was totally confused, you understand? Then this went on for 7 days. Then he thought, now current is this side, not this side. So he would eat this side. Then what Paulo did after that? One day this side current, one day this side current. So then the rat would go, he eat current. Then he understood, one thing he derived after 10-15 days it went on like this. He understood, okay, one side current is there, another side current is not there. This is his conclusion. So he would eat, as soon as he gets current, he will leave that place and go to other side. He understood, yahan current hai to idhar nahi hai. He stopped thinking about which side is right and which side is wrong. But some side current is there, some side not there. Like that 15 more days went. Then what this scientist did,
What side?
he started giving current alternately, not day wise, but when he is eating, sometime current here, sometime current here, sometime current here, sometime current here. And the rat was totally confused. What's happening? And you know what he did? The experiment started here. The rat was running here, there, trying to eat little bit here, little bit here. And in that whole thing, this scientist opened the door of cage. You know what happened? He did not leave. The rat was going from pole to pole, this cake to this cake, this cake to this cake. He did not notice that the door has opened for me to go out. Sukha, dukkha, sukha, dukkha, sukha, dukkha. This is how Maya traps us into this material world. Even when the door opens, we don't want to go out. We get trapped. These are the two polarities. That's why this world is called as world of duality. Duality means two. Everything is two here. There is sukha, dukkha, success, defeat. There is mana, apamana. There is shita, ushna. And this duality keeps us trapped in this world. That is called as abhinivesha in our scriptures in Sanskrit. Abhinivesha means we completely were absorbed, only thinking, mitigating misery, want to get happiness. No to misery, no to dukkha, I want happiness. Want sukha, no dukkha. Want sukha, no dukkha. Want sukha, no dukkha. And you see what people are doing in this world. That's all is going on. Everyone is trapped. Obviously, Paulo was not a devotee to derive this conclusion. He derived a different conclusion. But this is what Maya is. So these are raga and dvesha. Raga means I want something. Dvesha means I don't want something. And in these two polarities, our entire life goes on. Right? Do you agree? This is called abhinesh. And this is how we get trapped. This is the any Marathis here? Anybody Marathi here? Okay, some of you. Yeah. So I was Marathi, born Marathi. So there is one beautiful song. I'll explain. Very old song. An old song also had a lot of meanings, na? Those days. Jagahe bandi shara, Jagahe bandi shara. Atul Prabhu, what is the meaning? Huh? This world is a prison house. Prison house hai, and then that song later says, there is a invisible shackle by which we are all tied to this world. ऐसा बनाया भगवान ने कि दिख नहीं रहा है कि हम लोग बंधे हुए हैं, but we are tied. What is that invisible shackle? This raga and dvesha, abhinivesha, ultimately. Okay, anyways, I can go on, but our time is limited. Okay, so this is how this was trapped. No, what happened to Chitraketu? Read ahead.
Surrounded by his ministers and court officers, the king entered the boy's room and collapsed unconscious at the child's feet, his hair and dress scattered. When he regained consciousness, he was breathing heavily. His eyes were filled with tears and he was unable to speak.
So this is a understandable reaction. The king was totally aghast, destroyed, disturbed. What can I say? Totally shaken up by this loss of his child. It didn't stay here, but he actually, Angira had told him to keep name of his child as Harsha Shoka. He said, this is the condition I have. Keep the child's name as Harsh Shok. There is Harsh. We have Harsh. But Harsh Shok. He said, don't keep only Harsh. Harsh Shok. So now the king is realizing why it is Harsha Shoka. It gave Harsha also, now it gives Shoka also. Now, let's read ahead.
When the queen saw her husband suffering and again viewed the dead child, her grief increased all the more. This increased the pain in the hearts of all the residents of the palace. The queen's flower garland slipped from her body and her smooth jet black hair became tangled. Falling tears smeared the cosmetics beneath her eyes.
Continue.
She began to curse the Supreme Lord. O Providence, during the lifetime of the father, you have caused the death of his son. You are certainly the enemy of the living beings and are not at all merciful. Turning to her beloved child, she said, my dear son, I am helpless and aggrieved. You should not give up my company. How can you leave me? Just look at your lamenting father.
Yeah, so think about, maybe in this world also some of you might have seen someone losing a young child. What happens to parent situation? They are not able to digest that. And here, Keen Kyutit Duty, she is cursing providence, cursing God for his plan. How can you, oh Vidhata, Tava Balisha, that is the verse in Bhagavatam. You are fool, you are like a child. She is telling God, you don't understand. In front of your father is alive, mother is alive, and the child is dead. That means it is your fault. She is actually started cursing Daiva or God. And this is what we can see in the naturally. This happens in the ignorance. People, out of emotions also, people start cursing the plan of God, right? So let us see what happens. Read.
You have slept for a long time. Now please get up. Your playmates are calling you to play. You must be very hungry, so please get up immediately. Take your lunch. My dear son, I am most unfortunate, for I can no longer see your sweet smiling. You have closed your eyes forever. You have been taken from this planet to another place from which you will not return. My dear son, unable to hear your pleasing voice, I can no longer maintain my life.
Yeah, so now she is so grief stricken, so emotional. She's talking to the child, please get up, go for play. What are you sleeping? So you understand, right? It's very extreme pain that she is going through. She's feeling that pain. Don't, yeah.
The king began crying loudly. As the mother and father lamented, all their followers joined them, bemoaning the untimely death of the child because of the sudden demise of the prince. All the citizens of the kingdom were also grief
So
struck.
everyone was grief struck with this development. The child is no more, and everyone is crying. Everyone is blaming the destiny, right? So this is the sin. Now, in that we have a question, couple of questions. Why is Queen's cursing of Supreme Lord wrong? Is it right or wrong, or why it is wrong? Yeah, any answers? A and C. Is it the plan of God? Is he enemy of that child? No, it's the karma of the child only. Why? It has to happen. So many times when some unwanted or unpalatable things happen in our life, have you seen people cursing God? Why can it happen in my life? How can bad things happen to good people? Right? People ask these questions, and we questions God's discrimination. Hare Krishna. Right? At times. So, we have to understand that it is by one's own karma. What we are reaping is the fruit of our own actions. When Lord Ram came to forest and Bharat Maharaj came, right, his brother Bharata, and Bharata said, no, you have to return back. The kingdom is yours. I am not going to be king. My mother, Keikei, she did all that nonsense, but I don't trust it. You have to return back. And what did Lord Ram said? If you read Ramayana, Lord Ram said, she is not, I don't consider her responsible. I don't consider Dashrath Maharaj. Nobody is responsible. It's my own karma. Obviously, Lord Ram does not have karma. He is supreme Lord, but he is teaching us by his example. He is taking the responsibility. He said, she is not responsible. Father is not responsible. You are not responsible. It's my own karma that I have to go through now. So 14 years I will go through this, and 14 years you have to be king. After 14 years we'll see. This was the conscience. So Lord Ram is teaching. So you can see many great exalted personalities. When some very, sad or very untoward things happen in their life, then they accept it as providence, as their own karma coming back. Right? So this was the consciousness. This is the right consciousness to have. That's truth. Okay, what do you infer from the queen? Such as, you have slept for a long time, now please get up, your playmates are calling you. What do you infer from it? She was probably misunderstanding that the child is alive, so she said this. No, she knows he is dead. This shows her denial of the fact that child is gone due to her intense attachment, right? Yeah, she is not ready to accept it. When one is illusioned, then one speaks incoherently, imagining dead relative to be alive. This also is correct. D. Their likelihood the son will get up because of mother's affection. Does it happen? No. I have seen sometimes, I had seen one of my relatives, a young son died, and the mother and father, they were completely close relatives. And I remember going that time to meet them. I reached a little late, but I was told that the mother was so affected. She said that I will not breathe only. I also want to die. Can somebody dies like this? It's just an emotional surge. And it's been 20 years now. The son has passed, but mother and father are still alive. And things have gone in life. Nobody is indispensable in this world. Actually, that's the reality. Sorry, I'm being little too, philosophical today. So that's the thing. Reality of this world. Now what happens? In this scene comes Narada Muni and Angira Muni back in the scene. We'll go for another 15-20 minutes, okay? Or you all are tired? No? Okay. All are awake? Say Hari Bol. Loud. Okay, now let's see what Narada and Angira. Yeah, read.
When the great sage Angira understood that the king was almost dead, being immersed in an ocean of sorrow, he went there with his friend, the saint Narada. The two sages found the king overwhelmed by lamentation, lying like a dead body beside the dead body of his son. Angira addressed the king sharply. Wake up from that darkness of ignorance, O king. What relationship do you have with this child? You may say that you are now related as father and son, but do you think that this relationship existed before his birth?
Read ahead.
Does it truly exist now? Will it continue now that he is dead? O king, a small particles of sand sometimes can come together and sometimes separated due to the force of the ocean's waves. Living entities who have accepted material bodies sometimes come together and are sometimes separated by the force of time. Angira wanted the king to understand that all bodily relationships are temporary.
Yeah, so Angira is giving this example. Just like in the river, sometime you see, some things will come together with the passage of current. No? Some what you say, sand particles or some wooden sticks. And then they may go on in the river for some time, attached to each other like this. Again, some wave comes and things get separated. And they go their own way. Right? Similarly, this wave, this river is like the passage of time. Sometimes few living entities come together, go together for some time, call each other with some names. Mother, father, son, daughter, daughter-in-law, mother-in-law, boss, servant, so many ways. And then again it gets separated with the passage of time. The soul exists eternally, but not in the same relationship. Right? It's very sobering. Sometimes, now this life, we may be calling someone as son, daughter, mother, father. We didn't know what was our relationship with that soul previous life. Maybe previous life's enemy has come this life as son. And that can happen. And then that son troubles the parents like anything. Have you seen sometime this in the world? And then parents are crying, what kind of son we have got? Such a rascal. He is the enemy of previous life. Came to give you trouble back. Yeah. That's sobering. And now we become attached. Oh, no. This is just a passage of time. This is how things happen. This is the reality of this world. This body is just a temporary phase of life. Like, does anyone sitting here has nowadays 2000 rupees ka to net? What is the highest denomination you have? 500 rupees? Anyone? Right now. Right now. Somebody has 500. What is the highest note? 500? Yeah. 2000 anybody has? It's no more now, right? Not used. Okay, can you give me the 500 note? Ah, okay, will I return? Let's ask the owner if he wants back. Can you give, Prabhu? No, he's also. Okay, we'll give you back. Just give it for some time. Just for 5 minutes. We'll give you back. Huh? Okay, now I'm giving back, so everyone is ready to give. Okay, just give that. Okay, thank you. That's it. Now, this is 500 rupees note. So what is your name, Peter? Khushi. So Khushi has this Khushi, note with her. You got it somewhere, right? I mean, not now, but somewhere, some shop, you might have got this particular note of 500, right? So when you got it, now you think it is yours. Now you are very attached. Now that I have asked, you are saying, no. But today only you go to a mall and you want to purchase something and you give this note to the mall person and you purchase some. Now whom does the note belong? Then he becomes attached with the note. And then that shopkeeper goes to the petrol pump and then he wants to put petrol. He takes this note and give to the petrol wala. Then whose this note is? Petrol wala. Then that petrol wala will submit in the bank. And then it is issued to someone else. And you don't know, maybe after 5 years, again the same note will come back to you. It could possible. After 5 years. And that time you will not even realize this is the same note 5 years back I had. This note is compared to the jiva. We all souls. We keep on transmigrating. Now we are in one situation, we identify with it. People think, okay, he is mine, he is this, he is that. The jiva then goes to the another situation. Then another situation. Then whose is this jiva? Whose is this note actually? Khushi is reducing. Huh? Right now it is yours. That's all you can say. Right now it is under your care. Otherwise, nobody's. It is actually Government of India's. Similarly, whose is the soul jiva belongs to? To family, to the state, to the country, belongs to Krishna. So are we Indians? Are we Tamilians? Are we Telugus, Marathis? What is our identity? We are Krishna Das. That's the only true identity. Otherwise, all these identities are changing from one identity to another identity. Do you want it back? You still want it back? My God. Huh? Better you take it, but still. Others will get frightened. Yeah, come. Okay. So, let's move ahead. What do we understand from the analogy of sand particles? Quickly answer. D. D. Just as sand particles come together and are separated by the force of ocean waves, living entities who have accepted material bodies sometimes come together and sometimes separated. Correct. This is correct understanding. Now, somebody may say, oh my God, now this is very painful to heart to think like this. When we are together, the best thing we can do is, if we can help each other come closer to Krishna. Now that some souls have come together as a family, as friends, as relatives or whatever. Now the best thing, instead of lamenting, oh, there will be imminent separation, that will have to be, Hare Krishna, that will have to be. But if we can help each other come closer to Krishna, You can help your children come closer to Krishna. You can help your parents come closer to Krishna. You can help your spouse and friends come closer to Krishna. That's the best thing we can do for those who are connected to us. It is, see, understanding this doesn't mean that we should not be affectionate, we should not be loving. That should be there. We have emotions. But it should not be blind. We should not think this is going to be permanent. I am eternal, this situation is eternal, this family is eternal, this is all in all. That is Maya. You should understand it is temporary, but let's do the best use of bad bargain. Let's use this situation very nicely. What is the best use of the situation now we are in? Come close to Krishna by bhakti ourselves and help others connected to us also come closer to Krishna. If we can do that, that is the success of this situation. Do you understand what I'm trying to? Got it? Okay. Yeah. It goes on. Now, read ahead.
Then Narada Muni, by his mystic power, brought the soul of the prince back into the dead body. Narada said, O living entity, all good fortune unto you. Just see your father and mother. All your friends and relatives are overwhelmed with grief because of your death. Because you died untimely, the balance of your life still remains. Therefore, you may enjoy the remainder of the years allotted to you in this body with your friends and relatives, and later you may accept the royal throne and all the opulences
So
given by
Narada,
your
because
father.
he is a great devotee, he called back the soul. It's okay, you get up, because he is a great devotee of Krishna, and so he called back the soul and said, now, yeah, see your mother, father said so much lamenting. You please come. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So now let us see what the soul, the child does. Read ahead, someone.
The child who had been dead sat up and began to speak, not with the childishness of a young boy, but with the full knowledge of a liberated soul. According to the results of my material activities, I, the living being,
Now who is speaking
transmigrate.
this? The boy, the small boy who has now come out alive from death. And he is speaking in front of his parents. All the ministers, everyone is there. Now what is he saying? Go ahead.
Transmigrate from one body to another, sometimes going to the species of demigods, sometimes to the species of lower animals, sometimes incarnating among the vegetables and appearing sometimes in the human species.
I have been going through so many species. Sometime I was a potato. Sometime I was a dog. Sometime some birth I was a beggar. Last birth I was a prince. This is what the boy is speaking. Now let ahead. Gautami, read.
In which birth were these two people, my father and mother? No one is actually my father and mother. I have had millions of so-called parents. How can I accept these two people as my father and mother?
So he is talking from the spiritual perspective. From this birth, yes, I have these parents. But eternally, who are our parents? Radha and Krishna. They are the eternal parents. So obviously, this doesn't mean that, now Gautami goes and said, whose mother, whose father? No. We have to be respectful to our parents who have given us this body, this birth, this, right? But we also should understand that eternally as soul, right? It is our connection with Radha and Krishna, the supreme parents. Okay, read ahead.
The Vedas teach that the eternal living beings enter a body made of material elements. Here we find that such a living being entered a body produced by King Chitraketu and his wife. Actually, however, he was not their son. The living entity in the eternal Son of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but because he wants to enjoy this material world, God gives him a chance to enter various bodies. Yet the pure living being has no true relationship with the material body he gets from his father and mother. Therefore, the soul who had taken the body of Chitraketu's son flatly denied that the king and queen were his parents.
So he said, in different bodies, I have taken different mother and father. So definitely one is grateful to the mother and father of this body for having given the body and taking care. Yet we understand that we are on an eternal journey. Same thing the parents also understand. Now, a man and woman may come together, but do they really produce the child? Did they select which soul has to be born in which form? No, it's all Krishna's mercy. Right? So, this eternal reality is also Dehinosmin yatha dehe kaumaram yauvanam jara tatha dehantara praptir dhiras tatra namuyati. The real person understands that we are a spirit soul going through various bodies. In this very life, the body goes through so many transformations. We all at one point of time were like these small children, small bodies. Now the body has grown up, the body will also become old. The body right now in this life can go through so much of transformation, and at the time of death it goes to a different kind of body altogether, but the soul remains the same, which is who really we are, the part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. Alright? Okay, let's move ahead. Continue reading now this.
The soul continues.
In the material world, read from there.
In the material world, we come together as a family, stay together temporarily, and get separated, never to meet again. The soul continued in this material world, which is like a swiftly flowing river. All people become friends, relatives, and enemies. In due course of time, they also act neutrally and in many other relationships. But despite these various transactions, no one is permanently related.
Next.
Millions of living entities come to this world and all of them are given a certain type of body. A few living entities, say 5 or 6, are put in a group called a family and they stay together for a period of time. They are then separated by death, never to meet again. It is like meeting somebody in a train journey from one place to another. During the journey, you make friends with him, but once the destination comes, you go your way and he goes his way.
Next.
This is the case with families also. But once a living entity is put in a particular family, he becomes attached to others as father, mother, brothers, sisters, etc. because of falsely identifying himself with the body. This attachment makes the living entity undergo the cycle of repeated birth and death.
Okay, so now this question, less time now. Life in this material world is compared to a train journey. Why? Let's read the options. A. Nobody can be permanently related in this world unlike our permanent relation to the Supreme Lord, of whom we are part and parcel, right? Yes. Second, we are all related to each other, become attached to each other because of identifying with our material bodies, but are separated by time, causing us pain, right? This is also correct. Third, in train journey, you stay and travel together happily. In the same way, in material world also, we can all stay with relatives and friends and live together happily forever. No. And in the last, in train journey, you begin a new relation with someone and end it before getting down. Despite various transactions, no one is permanently related, right? This is correct. So there is an illusion. If you see all these Bollywood, Hollywood and Tollywood movies, they end. They show something and then what is the last scene? Now they lived happily ever after. That happily ever after doesn't happen forever. There is a break. That's the reality. Okay, do we read better ahead with little bit more remaining? Hare Krishna. I think.
The soul continued to speak. Just as gold and other commodities are continually transferred from one place to another through buying and selling, so the living entity, as a result of his karma, wanders throughout the universe, being injected into various bodies in different species of life through the semen of one father of the
This is what I
mother.
did here with that note, The money is going from one hand to another hand. Similarly, the soul is also going from one situation, one situation, one species to another species, one family to another family. So, who can claim next ownership? Read ahead. Who's reading?
The Bhagavad Gita explains that it is not by any father or mother that the living entity is given birth. The living entity's true identity is completely separate from the so-called father and mother. By the laws of nature, the soul is forced to enter the semen of father and is injected into the womb of a mother. He cannot directly control the kind of father he will get. This is automatically determined by his activities in previous lives. The laws of karma force him to go to different fathers and mothers, just like commodity that is bought and sold.
Next.
The living entity sometimes takes shelter of an animal's father and mother, and sometimes a human father and mother. Sometimes he accepts a father and a mother among the birds, and sometimes he accepts a demigod father and a mother in the heavenly planets. As the soul transmigrates through different bodies, everyone, in every form of life, be it human, animal, tree, or demigod, gets a father and mother. This is not very difficult. The real difficulty is to obtain a spiritual father, a bona fide spiritual master.
It is said in the scriptures, Janme janme sab pita mata paye, Guru Krishna nahi mile, bhaja yehi bhai. Bhaja yehi bhai. So every birth, whichever birth we have taken, some mother father we have got. Birds, beasts, plant, trees. But Guru Krishna, they are only possible in the human form of life. That too with great fortune. That we get a guru who can take us to Krishna and we get Krishna. That is very rare to have. So that is what it's saying here. Therefore, I'll read this. The duty of human being is to search out such a spiritual master, for under his guidance one can become free from the cycle of reincarnation, return to his original home and attain original father Shri Krishna in the spiritual world. That's the prime duty of the jiva in this material world. To search for a spiritual guide and then under the instruction attain Krishna's favor. So time is almost over and we have some little okay, just quickly let's go through these questions. What is the analogy given for the movement of soul from one place to another? The gold and commodities, first one, right? Yeah. Okay. The C also is correct, I think. Okay. What determines the choice of parents for a jiva? Not necessarily D, but A is true. Not his choice for sure. What is the real difficulty for a jiva wandering in different bodies like human, animals, trees, and demigods? That spiritual father one cannot get easily. How can we understand that Krishna is a real father? Okay, we'll send this as a question in the chat. You all can think because time is less. Okay, what is the duty of human being? B is correct and D is correct. Huh? Okay, Ribol. Let's complete this. Read.
The living being is eternal. The pure soul continued and has no relation with so-called fathers and mothers. He falsely accepts himself as their son and acts affectionately. After he dies, however, the relationship is finished. Under these circumstances, one should not be falsely involved with jubilation and lamentation.
Continue.
The living entity is eternal and imperishable. He has no beginning and no end, nor does he take birth or die. The living being is equal in quality to the Supreme Lord. Both are spiritual personalities. But because the living entity is so small, he is prone to be illusioned by the material energy, and thus he creates bodies for himself according to his different desires and activities.
Yes. Now we will move ahead. Read.
Suddenly, the boy became silent as the pure soul left the body of the child and the body fell lifeless to the floor. Chitraketu and the other relatives were astonished. They cut the shackles of their false attachments and gave up their lamentation. Then they performed the funeral ceremony, cremating the body. Because King Chitraketu and his wife had become fully cognizant of spiritual knowledge, including the science of reincarnation, they easily gave up the material attachment that leads to pain, fear, grief, and illusion.
So now, because the child spoke, what did Narada do? Narada was very expert. If he was speaking, Chitraketu and the queens were not ready to listen. Kritadyuti. But when the child spoke, this lofty philosophy, then everyone was very attentive to hear, and they understood, right, the reality of life, and then they accepted, and their lamentation actually went off. Because it is said, when you have real knowledge, then the lamentation will be just like Arjun is also lamenting in Bhagavad Gita, but when he got knowledge, he became steady, sthita pragya. Similarly, Chitraketu also overcome his lamentation and actually became peaceful and continued. He understood what is the reality. Okay, let's do this couple of questions and end of the story. If someone loses mother, father, grandmother, then one cries out loudly due to their death. What should be our understanding? C, correct? And D? C and D, both are correct. So, you have read it. It's one last. This is the last one. The Supreme Lord awards various material bodies to the living entities they desire. A, B, C, D, what? A is the correct answer. But the true desire of the Supreme Lord is that to see that the conditioned soul goes out of the cycle of birth and death and return back to God. He is not willingly giving us these bodies. Because we want, He is giving us so many bodies. But what He really wants is to return home, back to Godhead, to Him. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. This is how this wonderful story of Chitraketu is mentioned. Very nice. Sometimes as story, when we hear the philosophy, the reality, the facts, they really struck hard. Actually, I personally know of such one devotee, very good devotee now, known to us. A similar situation he went through. He is a very accomplished person. He was the technical head of one of the companies, technical head of India. He was he has more than 100 US patents on his name. And he was such a person that if he walked nearby and smiles in the company, people would think themselves fortunate that today, he looked at me and smiled. Very well accomplished, very wealthy. And a few years back, he had one of his, not devotees that time, his wife and him. And they had a small baby. Everything going very nicely. One day, they just thought that the baby is little feverish. But nothing wrong. Feel anything wrong. They went to one hill station. Hare Krishna, are we here? Late or? Yeah. They went to a hill station. Okay, just do this a weekend. On the hill station, they were in one spot, little far off from the car, enjoying, Suddenly, this baby started rolling eyes and started foaming. And the mother, father became panicked. It's a real true story of a person whom I know very well. Huh? So then they started rushing towards the car to take the baby. That's a hill station, little far off. So from there, by the time they came to a good hospital in a city nearby, the child was dead. At the time they came, the child had died. He was just a year-old child or something. And the father couldn't, understand. He couldn't accept this shock. He has all the wealth probably required, all contacts, whatnot, influence, power, everything. He was lamenting, I would have taken my child anywhere in the world to get treated. I could have spent millions of rupees if required. How could it happen to me? How can it happen in life? And he was completely, a phase came in his life, he was completely disturbed, devastated. That was the time he went down in his life. He was even thinking of resigning, completely disturbed. And then one of his friend used to come in our Pune temple for attending Bhagavad Gita classes. So that friend suggested him, why don't you just just try this up. Come for the Gita classes. And then he started, this is at least 12, 13 years before. And he started attending, and when they heard this knowledge, meditated, he read Gita, Bhagavad, because he was so desperate. Gradually he came out of that, understood that it is actually the karma of different living entities, and he could accept that, that truth of life, that it can happen. And now he is a wonderful devotee. He is guiding many devotees in their spiritual life. Is a leader in one of our communities. He has a daughter now. Family is all still back settled. But just an actual example in front of eyes how this knowledge could actually help one overcome these kind of situations. Similar thing. So we should also meditate on this knowledge. These are facts of life. This is reality. So let us read Gita. Let us read Bhagavatam. Let us come together and discuss this. And it doesn't mean when we understand this discussion, doesn't mean we become hard-hearted about each other and think, oh, now this is not important. No, we should be very affectionate in the relationships we have in our life. At the same time, not get attached, not think that this is permanent, and not compromise on our spiritual journey because of the situations around us. That is the message, what we should learn. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavat Mahapurana ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari. Thank you so much for giving me opportunity to serve all of you in this insignificant way, to share a little bit of what I know. Any questions, comments, clarifications, protests? Yes, Prabhu. Yeah. Because both are different. They are not same, right? Affectionate means we have feelings, we have emotions, we care for each other. Attachment is we are ready to sacrifice, compromise everything, especially spiritual life also. See, example is given of Pandavas and Kauravas. Was Kunti affectionate to her sons? Kunti, mother of Pandavas. Was she loving and caring and affectionate to Pandavas? She was a great devotee, right? But was she attached? No.